Howdy ho, neighbors. It's your boy Machine. I'm in the car. Welcome back to our channel. It's been a while since we did a video. Life has just been life, and oh, sorry, I put my hand all in the camera. Yeah, life has just been life, and your boy has just needed some time to, you know, if you watch this channel, you know, I'm just trying to get out this little space that I'm in. And, you know, right now I just don't feel like being looked at. I don't feel like talking to people. I don't feel like being around. Like, I tried to go out the other day for like a hot second. I just kind of stood in the back and just, I didn't see nobody that I knew because I ain't been out in a while, so. But I also realized that that same old two-step is, I'm tired of that too, so there's that. I'm ready to do new things and new whatever. But y'all, let's talk about professional ghosting. Like, I know this is real random, but like, I literally had an interview last week, and the recruiter was like, okay, cool, like, you sound like someone who would be great for this role that I'm trying to fill at this company, da 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 da. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it was making really good money, and it was like something that could have really like changed my situation like immediately. And she was like, okay, cool, like, revise your resume, put this on there, and then like send it back to me, and then I'll give you a call and we can reschedule. I can schedule an interview with the company. Y'all, never heard back from this lady. That was like 3 weeks ago. And so like after the first couple days, like, I was like, I feel like she's ghosted me. And Derek was just like, oh, I don't think she is, don't say that. I said, I'm not saying it to like be negative, I'm just like, that's the vibes that I'm getting. I called and left this lady like 2 messages, and she never got back to me. So then I had an interview scheduled for yesterday for another position that pays okay, but I might have to go to an office for that one. But literally the interview was at like 2:45 yesterday. It was like a phone interview, and then like I was sitting there at 2:45. No one ever called me, so I tried to call the lady's number. It was like going to some busy signal, and then it was like I emailed her like, hey, we were scheduled for an interview. Oh yes, I'm sorry, I wasn't available at the time we were scheduled. I say all this to say, folks, like, it's really time for me to push towards the shit that I've been doing. Like, I kind of just needed the one thing about me that I'm realizing is I need people to be like, nah, much, fuck that, go ahead and do that. Like, you could do it. I feel like I'm just around a whole bunch of, well, you know, you gotta like get money because like bills are due, and like, while I understand that, yes, I'm not gonna just be going like, because I know my history with me and jobs. And then the thing is, here in Atlanta, like, the pay isn't what I'm used to, and I'm not going to a job where I know, like, I already had issues with coming back from my break late. That was something that I knew that was like, Lord, especially if it was like a half an hour break. But then it's like, I knew I had time getting to work late sometimes, but I always had cool managers, so I never really said nothing. So now I gotta go back to that. Y'all, I haven't worked in office, like where I had to go every single day, probably since 2016. I think that's the last time I had to go to office every day. Then when I started working at Department of Ed, I used to like do a lot of stuff from the office, but then I used to do a lot of stuff from home too. Like, but I could work like, I could come into the office at like 10, but I would stay sometimes till like 8. And then so I wouldn't come to the office probably the next day and probably till like 1 o'clock because there wasn't nothing really going on, and I would stay till like 6. Like, you know, it was like kind of like an ongoing basis, and then I had to go to different schools, and so I never really sat in office. So me having to go sit in office, I was just like, and then also, so I had an interview with the Boys and Girls Club, and I knew that, like, it's a job that I applied for, and I was like, whatever. And then my friend got a position with them. So you know, he had told me they were looking for somebody. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I was thinking about doing it because, like I said, like, in my head, I'm just like, I know I need to get, like, with me, there's something about consistent money. Like, it's just like, I know that's always been a thing of mine, and I've always been ready to step out and be that creative. But, like, because I didn't have, like, you know, tons of support money-wise, I just couldn't just leap like that. And then I never made enough to where I was able to, like, stack, then quit my job and be able to, like, thrive. Like, I never, like, what I made is what I made. And normally a lot of that money was spent on, like, art supplies. That's when I had my clothing line and buying samples and doing all that. That's why, like, for me, I've taken a lot of trips across country. Like, I've driven across country 4 times. You know, I've been places in this country, but I've never been out the country. And so, you know, people always be like, oh my God, I can't believe you don't got your passport. I mean, yes, but essentially, like, knowing me, I don't know if I would have been a smart 20-something going out the country. Like, I don't want to do something stupid and then end up getting arrested. Like, something dumb that I did when I was just drinking. So, but I spend a lot of my money on, like, building my crafts and getting supplies and art programs and, you know, computers and things like that to really elevate to where, you know, I'm able to do what I do now. But traveling out of the country wasn't, like, on my, like, oh my God, I gotta do this now. It's kind of where I'm at now. I really want to, like, travel and do stuff. But, you know, what comes, like, into, so back to the Boys and Girls Club, like, it would have been an in-office role where I had to go to the school every day, and I would have to, like, counsel kids and, like, you know, do, like, one-on-one with kids. I would do group stuff with kids, and like, essentially, the 9 to 5 me would love to do that. Like, the person who has been working with kids, like, my whole goddamn life, I would love to do that job. The job was only paying $43,000 a year. I'm sorry, bro. Like, that's, first of all, that's way less than what I was making at my job that I got laid off from in December. Way less. And the thing is, when I was making that money in December, at that job in December, I was doing all right, but, like, towards the end of the year, when inflation started going up, we was realizing, like, okay, wait, like, hold on, like, money's kind of tight. Like, what the fuck is going on? And so it's like, so if I was struggling then, and then now I'm going to go here and do that and make that money, I know I'm still going to be struggling, and then I'm still going to be mad about it. And then on top of being mad, now I got to go to the office every day. That's clothes involved. Like, I got to deal with people. I got to deal with people's kids. Like, that job is probably a very mentally strenuous one. Like, seeing that I'm going to be, like, you know, a big brother to, like, these students and stuff like that. It was just a lot. So, yeah. Yeah. But I just been watching a whole bunch of interviews and stuff like that with, like, entrepreneurial folks, and, like, the path that I'm on is definitely, like, working. Like, my YouTube is growing, and I'm starting to get, like, you know, once I get some help to really up the ante, I know that the channel is gonna, like, start making money. And then I also have, like, another meme page that I started. I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want it to be associated with me. But that actually is doing well. I haven't posted on there in a couple months, but I have to get back to that because that page grew to, like, 17K in, like, a couple months. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to that, because if I could grow that page and then, you know, do all the things with that, it's a whole thing about what I'm doing. Like I said, like, I was watching an interview and it said, like, you know, if you're a person who doesn't really tell people what you do, like, you're kind of blocking your blessings. And I'm like, I do feel like that, but then sometimes I feel like I just hate when people talk about what they're gonna do. I'm gonna start this, and then they don't. Like, it's just because I'm a person who has started. Like, I wanted to do my clothing line. I found a way to do the clothing line, to get my shirts printed for cheap. I found a way to do this for cheap. Like, I found, and this is before now, like, now you can reach out to manufacturers and all that. But before, you know, you had to figure this shit out. So I would be figuring out like how to do this. Like when I started my podcast network, like, and I had to figure out how to how to record audio with my friend who's in another state. Like, how the hell are we gonna do this? And how is it gonna sound good? And like all of that. Like, I had to figure and research all of that, and I figured that out. So, you know, I'm a person who just likes to figure shit out, and I hate when people be like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Like, how do you turn the computer on? Like, it's just like, wake the fuck up. It's like, wake the fuck up. But, sorry if y'all tilted down. Damn, I don't even know. But, that's my little blurb for today, boys and girls. And, yeah, Derek told me to take the camera to record. So, there's your recording. But, you know, more videos to come, man. Once we get, like, really back on track, then we're going to bring y'all some heat, because my editing skills is out of this park. But with all this shit going on, I can't concentrate, boys and girls. So, see you in 2 shakes and a twirl.